The agreement was we worked twice a day, once on Saturdays, and the payment was $3,200 per month.
Now she says she is in jeopardy of losing her cleaning business.
Yep, things really have gotten this messy. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So by now, you've probably seen the headlines. Tiffany Henyard is officially out as the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and yeah, she had some big dreams of holding on to that power forever. Remember when she kept saying stuff like, "I'll always be your mayor, your supervisor, your one and only super mayor"? Yeah. Well, reality had some other plans for her, but just because she's been kicked out of office doesn't mean the circus packed up and left town. Nope, this mess is still very much alive, and her influence still stirring up drama all over the village. Case in point, this woman right here. A vendor who was hired during Tiffany Henyard's administration. And she's not holding her tongue for anybody. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, misled. She says, "So, what's she talking about?" Well, according to her, the village still owes her $12,800. That's 4 months of invoices unpaid. Just disappeared, no payment, no explanation? No check, nothing. She did the work, turned in the invoices, followed the process. And still got completely ghosted. And here's the kicker. She's not the only one. Word on the street is plenty of other vendors who worked under Henyard are saying the exact same thing. They didn't get paid either, but instead of anyone stepping up and dealing with it, they're just getting hit with the runaround. No answers. No accountability, just more confusion and silence. And while this is all going down, what's Tiffany Henyard out here doing? Smiling for the cameras, hyping up some book deal, grilling goat meat, and thanking her haters for the motivation. Meanwhile, real hardworking people are still chasing down money they earned months ago. This is the kind of mess Tiffany Henyard left behind. And no, it's not going anywhere just because she's out of office. CNA Willeneuik says she was genuinely proud to serve the village of Dolton, especially when it came to supporting the police department. Her company, TNT Cleaning Solutions, got hired back in 2023 to handle cleaning services for the Dolton PD, right when Tiffany Henyard was still running the show. And at first, everything was smooth sailing, no problems at all. For the first 5 months, the payments came in like clockwork, on time, full amount, no drama. But then, out of nowhere, everything just stopped. No warning. No explanation, not even a courtesy email. Just straight up silence. Shania Willeneuik says she was proud to serve the village of Dolton, especially the police department. Her company, TNT Cleaning Solutions, was hired in 2023 to handle cleaning services for the Dolton PD while Tiffany Henyard was still in charge. And in the beginning, everything went smooth. Payments came in on time, full amounts, no problems at all for the first 5 months. But then, out of nowhere, everything stopped. No heads up, no explanation, not even a courtesy email. Just complete silence. She claims the village still owes her 4 payments, totaling $12,800. So after watching that news clip, I had to stop and take a closer look zoomed in on those invoices just to confirm the exact dates and figure out which payments were actually missing. Let's break this all the way down. As I walk through each unpaid invoice, I'm also going to line them up with the official Dolton board meeting calendar. Why? To check if this vendor ever came forward publicly to call out the board or the mayor. Because let's be real, if you're owed nearly 13 grand, wouldn't you show up at least once? Apply pressure, ask questions, demand answers, something. Anything, just to get the ball rolling or at least find out what's going on. All right, let's start with the first invoice she says never got paid. The date's a little blurry, but it looks like March 23rd, 2024. That's the one she claims was completely ignored. Now, let's check the Dolton board meetings that happened after that date. See if her name came up or if she ever stepped up to the podium to speak. So this next clip comes from a Mr. Dot's meeting, and after digging a bit, I found out Dots stands for Democrats of Thornton Township. Okay, fair enough. He gets a pass for that one. But for those who don't know, that's Michael Smith, one of Tiffany Henyard's loudest supporters. Always capping for her no matter what. Thankfully, he's not holding any official government role now. Anyway, that specific board meeting, Happened on April 1st, 2024. I pulled the list of speakers during public comments, and guess what? No sign of the cleaning vendor? She didn't show up to confront the board or ask about her missing payments. All right, maybe she was giving them a little grace period. Maybe she thought the check was coming any day now. So I checked the next board. Meeting May 6, 2024, went through every single speaker, and once again, nothing. No appearance. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The next invoice she submitted? Dated May 23rd, 2024. She says that one hasn't been paid either. So I checked the next few board meetings, June 3rd, July 1st, and August 5th, 2024, looked at every name, every speaker. Still nothing. She didn't show up once to ask about her money. Then comes the last invoice dated August 23rd, 2024. That one was tough to confirm because the news clip had it partially blurred. But based on everything else, it looks like she says that one didn't get paid either. And that's when I had to pause and think, wait a minute. Didn't some of the trustees start holding meetings over at the Park District instead of Village Hall? So I pulled up the September 12th, 2024 board meeting, and guess who shows up? Some of y'all probably know her, but if you don't, meet Cassandra Hobson Jordan. Yep, she ran for mayor too. Spoiler alert, she didn't win. And honestly, thank God she didn't, because Cassandra, she's basically Tiffany Henyard on steroids, same messy behavior, just louder and more in your face. And to show you what I mean, let me hit you with a side-by-side. Watch this closely. Same vibe, same delivery, same energy. It's honestly creepy. Cassandra said, you should be glad someone is running for mayor and giving you an option and trying to help build this village back up. Now, watch Tiffany. You should be glad you have a mayor that looks the part, plays the part, and acts the part. See what I mean? Then Cassandra goes on, I'm going to continue producing my videos. I'm going to continue showing receipts. I will state facts. I'm going to keep producing receipts. Sound familiar? But she wasn't done. She kept going. And the sad part is, it's a lot of you seniors. I've never seen so much hating and mess from older people in my life. Women in their 60s and 70s acting like straight-up fools. You're older than me. You should know better. Exactly the kind of mess we don't need more of. Dolton, y'all dodged a bullet. The voters got this one right. Anyway, let's get back to it. I checked every speaker at that board meeting. Still, no sign of the vendor lady, the one owed almost $13,000. Now we move on to October 7th, 2024, that first unpaid invoice, dated March 23rd, 2024. So by now, we're talking nearly 7 months of unpaid labor. You'd think she'd show up by now, right? Nope, still nothing. Then we hit the final invoice dated October 23rd, 2024, still unpaid. And finally, Ding Ding G shows up at the board meeting, says, I'm a vendor here in Dolton. I'm not a resident. I was previously cleaning the police department. We are owed 4 months of pay. Even when we weren't being paid, we still showed up every day and did our job? Now hold on. Who keeps going to work for 4 months knowing they're not getting paid? Me? If the checks stop, I'm out. Bills don't pay themselves. I'm not clocking in based on hope. So I started thinking, why would anyone keep showing up for months with zero pay? One possibility? They were getting paid off the books and didn't want too many eyes on it. Or maybe someone kept whispering, just wait, the check's coming. It's gonna be big. Either way, this isn't smart business. It's not even street smart. You don't work on vibes and promises. And here's another theory. Maybe Tiffany and her team brought her in off the books? No board approval, no vote, no nothing. I know. Tiffany always follows protocol. Yeah, sure. But cutting corners is her thing, and the vendor lady, she's not alone. There's another guy who came forward at that same board meeting, said he hadn't been paid either, and guess what? Tiffany Henyard personally asked him to work. I don't live in Dolton, but I'm a contractor. I own SNS Lawn Service. I ran into the mayor while working, and she asked me to take care of some properties. So I dropped everything in my city and came to Dolton. I cleaned up 160 properties in 2 weeks. So where's your paperwork? Was there a contract? Board approval? Or were you just out here winging it on a handshake? He even said, I cut them for a little bit of nothing. What does that even mean? That's not a number. That's not a dollar amount. That's pure vibes. And now he's mad the board won't pay him. But here's the thing, the board can't just cut checks based on random side conversations. They're supposed to protect public funds, not pay off favors. That's why our FPs exist request for proposals. It keeps everything above board, fair, and transparent. If you want to get paid, cool, but where's the paperwork? The budget line? The board vote? RFPs stop this exact type of nonsense from happening. And before anyone says Tiffany didn't know better, she did. Back in 2014, there's actual footage of her when she was a trustee asking for an RFP. Next. On my list is, I'd like to request an RFP, which stands for Request for Proposal, for a board-up company. So she knew the process. When she skipped it, it wasn't ignorance. It was intentional. Back to our vendor lady. She finally addresses the board. We just want what's owed to us. We worked hard. We gave our time and effort, but we can't work for free. Mayor, I've seen you say in past meetings that vendors deserve to be paid. That's why I'm here. Translation, run me my check. She kept it respectful but firm. Now let's talk responses. First up, Jason House, who's now the mayor of Dolton but was still a trustee then Tiffany. Jason said, I heard a speaker mention unpaid bills. Right now, we're working through our draft budget. And yes, there are quite a few challenges, but we're committed to creating a budget that'll allow us to catch up on unpaid balances. Vendors will be honored, but I'll be honest, it won't be easy. If you're a vendor, email our village administrator, Keith Freeman, and CC me at jhous@vdt-on.org. We'll keep you updated, he acknowledged the issue. Didn't promise miracles, but gave vendors a path forward. Now flashback to a wild board. Meeting moment. A woman walks in after work, grabs the mic, and says, I'm a Dolton resident, originally from Chicago. Miss Tiffany, I've never met you, but I believe you're a queen and I'm here to crown you. Then she says, people been leaving flyers on my door. I'm taking it as harassment. But I'm Team Tiff. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I tip my hat to you. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? But Tiffany had been mayor since May 8, 2021. This meeting was in June 2022, over a year in. What had actually changed? This woman literally crowned Tiffany in a government meeting. And Tiffany? She soaked it up. Oh, wow, I'm adjusting my crown, sitting on my throne just for you, baby. With support like that, no wonder Tiffany. I was feeling invincible, but now that Jason House is in charge, that blind support is gone. The village says they've brought in an outside firm to review all pending contracts and vendor claims. They also confirmed they're working with the cleaning company to find a fair solution. I reached out to Tiffany for comment. She didn't respond. Bottom line, Dolton's leadership has a huge job ahead. They need to untangle this mess, figure out who was hired, when, and for what. Because if they don't, more people will start popping up claiming they're owed money. So yeah, Jason House has his hands full, but at least he's moving in the right direction. All right, that's it for today. If you got value from this, drop a like. New here? Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And remember, when someone talks too fast, watch your wallet, especially in Dolton.